I'm gonna get on the chat right now. Somebody take care of this. I'm gonna get on the chat right now and try to get that situated right now. I can get him out. Okay, yeah, we're gonna get you out, but we need to find out.
I'm gonna wrap it. Don't worry. Don't worry.
I could hold it. I would rather.
You want to hold it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Protests at major colleges.
The war in Gaza is turning college campuses across the U.S. into ideological battlegrounds. More than 30,000 people have been killed in the Gaza Strip since October.
Today, Cal Poly Humboldt
At Cal Poly Humboldt.
In Cal Poly Humboldt in Arcade.
Crowds started forming a lot more as things progressed, and ultimately the police presence got bigger.
The scene playing out across the country, pro-Palestinian demonstrators clashing with police.
Indigenous people are praying. If you attack us, you are attacking indigenous religious ceremonies.
If you've seen the video of someone bonking a cop with the water jug, that's Cal Poly Humboldt.
The protest garnered attention from the nation and our community.
The water jug being a symbol of resistance and fighting against fascism and police brutality is not a coincidence.
1 in 5 students in the school are experiencing homelessness and living in their vehicles. In October, all the homeless students living in the vehicles on campus were evicted by the university. So them setting up a successful encampment and taking over 2 buildings in the university is extremely poetic.
I think that it's a completely valid response to what's going on.
I would like to read you our demands. First, we demand that the universities disclose all holdings and collaborations they have with the Zionist entity of the State of Israel. We demand an academic boycott to sever academic ties with Israeli universities. We demand that we divest and cut all investments to the Zionist entity, including companies complicit in the colonization of Palestine, including weapons manufacturers that fund our school. We demand that all charges against student organizers be dropped. We demand an end to the occupation in Palestine, including an immediate and permanent ceasefire. Ceasefire now.
Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now!
Police are on the way. They are arriving. You are staying to hold it down with your comrades inside. Choose an entrance, sit down, and lock arms. We are stronger than they are. If you are staying to hold it down with your comrades inside, choose an entrance, sit down, lock arms.
Everyone, look at how embarrassing that is.
It is important that we stay to protect our comrades inside. The police are violent. Hold it down. Choose an entrance. Sit down. Lock arms. Free Palestine. We are stronger together. The police expect violence. If you just sit there, they won't know what to do.
No way. Be safe.
Free barbecue. The cops blown up!
You are going to choose an entrance, sit down, lock arms.
If anybody needs to leave, come out right now. We're about to close the door. Let's go. Cops are coming.
There's only 2 cops coming right now.
I don't know where about this.
Yeah, no, they'll come anyway, but just so you know, there's only 2 dudes showing up right now.
I met one of the students who had gotten arrested on Monday. And they're safe, they're fine. They just have a big old bump on their head with a bandit, which I think is crazy because I saw them at like 5. A whole bunch of like you see what we're doing in here right now? That's what they were doing. They were hanging out. They had bags. They had their backpack. They had their tents. They had their sleeping bag. They were doing homework in broad. Like literally, they were like one of the banners that said Free Palestine. They were working on that.
Little breaker. Where are we putting this guy?
Stack it up.
We got more tables up there too.
All the protesters that got arrested have been released.
Got released?
Apparently.
Aren't already aware, there's been talks that we are volatile and creating a violent space on campus. Everyone here can see is not true. And to make sure that that narrative does not continue, we just want to make sure that as the concert starts and that music plays, we keep each other safe. And we need to be aware, just in case police do come back, because the only time it has gotten violent here is when police are here. So keep each other safe, especially for our more marginalized identities here, so queer people, black and brown people. If you are a white ally, this is your time to put your body on the line to protect your community. Thank you everyone for being here.
Thank you for being here. Free Palestine. I wanna live I want to be free. Free from harm. I want to be free. In the street, sisters and brothers, we're coming together for one another with fists and signs up in the air. Luchamos for what is fair, to live a life of dignity is all I want for you and me. But they don't stop, so we don't stop. No, we don't. I wanna live and love. I wanna love and be free. I want to be free. Free from fear. Quiero ser libre. We have the right to take a stand. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. Oh, oh, oh. Mujer nos da nuestra vida, parece que se les olvida, and they don't stop, so we don't stop. No, we won't. I wanna live and love. I wanna love and be free. I want to be free.
As of right now, it's really died down. You know, today was a lot more mellow than yesterday. There hasn't been any cops here yet.
There's no doubt that they're going to shut it down with overwhelming force sooner rather than.
I think sooner.
It'd be embarrassing if the university didn't just kind of just call on every cop in Northern California to an extent and just.
They already basically, honestly, this is already really embarrassing for the university. I can't believe they're letting their students get fucking injured over this kind of stuff.
It didn't have to get this far.
It didn't have to use
overwhelming force to begin with.
They're just doing all this. The cops started instigating, they started hurting people, and people started getting angry at them, man. I mean, as they rightfully should. I feel like that's kind of crazy if you don't. That's Right to defend yourself. They pushed my homie, he has a broken back, and a fucking cop pushed him with a club right in the fucking back, bro. He has a brace on his back right now because he fucked up his L2, and they pushed his ass, bro. You think that makes me fucking happy? I'm fucking mad.
All in all, I think the people were heard, and that came together to be here.
Yeah, for real. The first day was the first day was pretty violent. I'm not gonna lie, there was a lot of violence, but today it's really been showing, like, we bought a lot of food. We just been enjoying ourselves today, you know what I mean? We've been out here protesting, but like,
it's about the community today.
Exactly, bro. Yesterday was about making a statement. Today was about hanging in there, you know, supporting it. They're still in there, man. There's still people barricading in Siemens. We're just out here supporting them, you know what I mean? We got, if you check over there, we got they got supplies. They got like food and all kinds of supplies that they would need, and we've been making food out here, barbecuing, you know.
Thanks to Big Mike in the
Big
back.
Mike.
Hey, it seems like a lot of tension going on right now, but it's all love. It's all love, man. It's all about love.
Nah, literally.
Straight up. People just out here making a statement.
It's about the message at the end of the day, and like, to what extent can we send this message?
You also rightly acknowledge that we are on the stolen land of the Wiyot people, and Palestinians are fighting for their right to exist on their land. This is all indigenous land, and our struggles are connected. Administrators have closed campus, but this is meant to be an educational institution, and it runs because of students, faculty, and our staff, not because of admin. So, we say, not today. There are important lessons going on here in Siemens Hall, and we are here to learn. An opportunity for us to build the university we would like to see, built on care for each other. Teachers have a long history of holding space for important conversations, beginning with anti-Vietnam War protests in Michigan. Since then, it has had a robust history of making us sit in uncomfortable lessons, shaking us out of our complicity. We hope to build on that history today. As a reminder that this is in solidarity with what is happening in the U.S., but we want to underscore that the focus of this should be on Palestine and the liberation of Palestinians. Free Gaza! Free Gaza! Free Gaza! Free Gaza! Free Gaza! Free Gaza!
Before we do stretching, we have grounded peace here. There are victims on both sides, and that's real peace. And so it's really important that we acknowledge that if we are really peace activists. I am here with you to help end this genocide. Inhale, press the palms together, reach up, big, big breath in, and exhale with a big sigh.
Reach up to the sky, touch palms, feel that energy. Bring your palms together. Hi, kitty. Bring it all the way down.
Thank you so much for being here.
All right, I'm very happy to be here. I have two announcements that I've been asked to make. At 1 p.m., we've been told that UPD is going to make a wellness check. The second announcement is that when that happens, or if you see any kind of security presence, you could position yourself in front of a door if you want. That's a place you could maybe stand. I'm here to talk to you all about nonviolence, and it is expensive. It requires considerable risk. Does nonviolence work? It does. Yes, it does. Most people will say nonviolence works up to a point. And when you ask them what that point is, they'll be like, well, there's always a time or a place where we can't rely on nonviolence. It's going to get real, wishy-washy right around there. We don't really know. This is an essential question for human existence. And too few people take this seriously. Pacifists are not weak. They take incredible risks. Too many pacifists get shot for me to call them cowards. It happens constantly. And why would a state do that? Why would a state, or why would police with firearms on their hips show up to respond to pacifists unless they are, in fact, an existential threat? Because they are. That's the whole point of pacifism. When people say nonviolence protects the state, I like to say, you know what really protects the state? Guns. That's what protects the state. Guns and warfare. They're very good at both. What pacifists do is they understand that if we want to change the world, we put the guns down, and we stand ourselves between the oppressor and those that are being oppressed.
Thank you so much. Again, shout out to the California Faculty Association for anchoring us in learning today. We center and honor this whole piece on Palestinians. The hospitals, the schools bombed, the people building, and trying to live and survive in a world that is incredibly thoughtless. And today, in this place where you are right now, we chose a different path. We didn't turn our face away when the heartbreak came to us. We did everything that we could. But I will just say that I honor, and I think you do honor, to the amazing legacy of organizers in this place, including the folks in Siemens Hall, who put in work to make a positive impact in this world and help the people of Palestine. And it is not insignificant. Last night, we went up to Pelican Bay and we met with a bunch of college juniors, enrolled Cal Poly Humboldt students who happened to also be in the super maximum security wing there. And we sat and talked with them, with faculty and students having an educational thing. And you want to know the question the first 4 students who walked in the room asked about? What's happening at Cal Poly Humboldt? I saw a bunch of people protesting. I saw cops attacking. What are y'all doing for Palestine? What's happening there? People who are locked up, life without parole, want to know what's happening on this campus. They see you. They hear you. And a couple nights ago, I watched armed police charge students and faculty at that door right there. And then they had to leave with nothing. That doesn't happen. Can you conceive of what that energy was like? And to hold and resist? When I left and I looked up by the president's suite and there were a handful of students and a Palestinian flag hanging after armed police had charged students and they had not given up that territory because their beliefs are stronger than their guns?
I'm honored to share this space with students who are so courageous. I have an email in my inbox. I know a lot of you probably got the same one that says campus is closed. It's dangerous situation at Siemens Hall. But as I stand here, I don't see danger. I see love. But it is that false narrative about dangerousness that allows governments to kill people in Palestine, right? It's that false narrative about students being dangerous that allows law enforcement to show up with weapons and billy clubs and assault people. That false narrative has to be challenged. It's the same thing that we hear about our students in Pelican Bay when they say they are dangerous, therefore they need to be sent to prison for the rest of their lives. What I appreciate for everyone here who is supporting this is the love you have for people who are truly struggling to survive, who have seen so much death and are still threatened with death themselves because of a false narrative. So I consider it an honor and a privilege to share space with you. The students in Siemens Hall are courageous. You are courageous. That courage, that love, that is the thing that will change these systems that it thinks it's okay to lock people in caste systems and abuse them. So thank you for everything that you're doing.
Biden, stop arming genocide in Gaza. I'm a member of Veterans for Peace. When I got out of the war, I'm an ex-Marine combat veteran of the Vietnam War. When I came out, I immediately joined Veterans Against the War, Vietnam veterans, and we proceeded to protest. That was a genocidal war, just as this is a genocidal war against Palestinians. You're not anti-Semitic, you're anti-genocide, and you're anti-fascist.
What was a fairly typical, liberal American Jewish community. I went to Hebrew school. I was very active in my Jewish youth group. I actually went on 2 youth trips to Israel at the end of high school. Not subtle. It was not subtext. It was quite directly told to me that the reason the state of Israel exists is in order to protect Jews from another Holocaust. And this is the message told to me again and again and again growing up. When I was in college, I got involved in student activism. The 2008 budget crisis led to a massive slashing of state budgets, neoliberalism, austerity across the world. In California, this led to massive tuition hikes and budget cuts at the University of California. I was at Santa Cruz at the time, where we had multiple building occupations of the president's office. So that was my first experience, having grown up in this kind of sheltered San Jose suburban lifestyle as a white Jewish woman, with seeing police officers beating me and my friends, with pepper spraying us, because we were standing up for what we felt was a public good. In 2010, May 31st, 2010, the IDF raided the boats of the flotilla in the Mediterranean Ocean, murdering about 24 activists, many of them Turkish citizens. The stories that I was reading at that time was the IDF spokesperson saying these were terrorists that were coming to attack us. Because I had already seen the state violence that my own university and my own government had carried out against me and my friends, it was the first time I had the framework to say, oh, what if the state is lying? What if the Israeli army is not telling the truth? What if they are calling people terrorists because that figure allows full throttle, militarized, violent attack against people with universal international support? And at the end of the year, which was that in December 2010, the largest wildfire in Israel's history, in Israel's recorded history, happened on the slopes of Mount Carmel, which is in the north, outside of Haifa. It was the deadliest wildfire in history, Mount Carmel, where there is a prison. That prison, to this day, Damon prison, holds Palestinian political prisoners, most of whom are arrested in the West Bank, some of whom are Palestinian citizens of Israel, the majority of them. The fire burned through that area, and actually the major deaths were because a bus of prison guards was going up to the prison and was caught in fire. And again, I was reading media coverage, and for the first time I came across the story of why that fire burned so intensely through the slopes of Mount Carmel, because throughout a lot of the Mount Carmel area had been Palestinian villages up until the 1948 Nakba. Villages were ethnically cleansed, so the state of Israel could be founded as a Jewish state.
My name is Ruhollah Aghasaleh. I'm faculty at the School of Education. Plasticide is a term that was first coined by Professor Karma Nabulsi, an Oxford-born and Palestinian expert on law of war. She conceptualized it in a context of Israeli assault in Gaza, Palestine in 2009, but also with reference to a pattern of Israeli colonial attacks on Palestinians, scholars, students, and educational institutions going back to the Nakba 1948 and expanding after the 1967 war on Palestine and the 1982 invasion of Lebanon. This is the role and power of education in an occupied society in which freedom of thought posits possibility, open horizons, contrasting sharply with the apartheid wall and shackling checkpoints. So I wanted to quickly read the name of the universities, the higher education institution in Gaza, who all of them were bombed. 90,000 Palestinian higher education students cannot attend universities in Gaza. Islamic University of Gaza, bombed. Al-Azhar University, bombed. Al-Quds Open University, bombed. University College of Applied Sciences, bombed. University of Palestine, bombed. Al-Isra University, bombed. University of Gaza, bombed. Al-Aqsa University, bombed. Palestine Technical College, bombed. Palestine College of Nursing, bombed. Arab College of Applied Sciences, bombed. Thank you.
We are here at Cal Poly Humboldt because the United States government funds and enables the Israeli government to commit genocide against the Palestinian people. Something like this has gone on way longer than it should have. It should have ended before I was ever born. Our generation has a lot of problems that we've inherited that aren't necessarily our fault. We are like a caged animal, and we are essentially just like set on breaking out and breaking everyone who's also in cages out. We are all disenfranchised by the same system that only sees value in how much you can produce and make money for someone else, and own absolutely none of that labor yourself. And so these issues intersect. Palestine highlights just how depraved that the ruling class is willing to go to continue the status quo, and what that status quo actually entails for people that they don't agree with. When I found out about Palestine, it was 2010. I was 18. Okay, but it was after the reaction of the right to return, which was like a multi-thousand person protest where Palestinians they all gathered around the border fence and they crossed it for the first time since the Nakba, and they were met with sniper fire and shellings, targeting women and children and kids and shit. And like some of the most infamous scenes of the IDF committing atrocities were from that instance. They would give what is called warning bombs, and they drop non-explosive bombs on the buildings that they're going to target. And that is nice. Like, people think, they say like, oh, this is a courtesy. Yeah, most humane military ever. It's like, how the fuck is that humane? Just because you knock before you airstrike. And yeah, the extent to which that they're willing to bend what is socially acceptable to fit that type of egregious behavior. This is an interesting time, and our generation is not afraid to look away. The institutions that I work for, or the institutions that educate me, or the institutions that supposedly operate my government and give me like health care that they refuse to give, or repair roads and stuff, it's all enabling Israel instead of doing what it's supposed to. So we're in for lots of changes. It's easy to be like, fuck the US government when you're fed and we still have all the surplus of, goods from the rest of the world that we consume on a daily basis. We all, like, as Americans, even the people here, we are so privileged, and we have an insane amount of resources that the rest of the world just doesn't have. Things will slow down again, and when they slow down again, our lives will be different. They will be different. I just like to remind myself, acknowledge your needs being met now, because there's no guarantee that that's going to stay that way when collapse happens, and like the collapse will be the true test to our ideology and our spirit. Are we gonna get through it? And that's the biggest testament to it, is like not having any of your needs and persevering through that.
This is not wanted. This is not the intention. We're not trying to destroy the school. We're trying to get freedom for Palestine. Free, free Palestine. Free, free Palestine. Anybody want to get up there and help get those fucks out of there? Releasing the students. Stop making this about you. It's about Palestine.
I know.
Yeah, so like if students are agreeing to like not occupy more buildings, like how is the...
It's not about what students are agreeing to. It is about admin agreeing not to expel you. Honestly, it is a good thing. It is using a colonizer's language to hold them to their word. They speak in legal jargon. They speak in contracts. keeping it centralized to like, why are we doing this? This is more than just like, oh, we want this and we want that on this campus. It is not about this campus at all. At all. It is about freeing Palestine, and it is written all over the place, but it is getting lost in the message of where it is being written. It is not about this institution. It is about the institutional power that we are seeing on a micro level here, the violence that we see on a micro level here that is happening and creating a genocide overseas. And so asking for a ceasefire is the most minimal way that we can go about that. Asking for transparency and divestment is the most minimal way that we can go about that.
Don't complain, but always smile when it's raining. For life to have happy hours, need showers just like the flowers. Don't mind the rain. Just like the flowers, don't mind the rain.
Town Hall at 12 will make sure you guys want to know, but I also would love if some people would help relieve the people that have been on the that side of Seaman Hall facing the music building. They've been there for a while. They have a tarp there and other things, and then also maybe one or two people just right here at this exit. We just swap people out. I just want to make sure everyone's good and rested and doesn't have to sit in the rain all night and swaps out.
Right now, come do it. Mobilize everybody, get over here.
Careful.
Business meeting over here behind the barricade.
So, school just sent out an email at 1:49, which is 4 minutes ago. We are offering a one-time checkout process Friday, April 26th from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. That will allow you to vacate the premises without fear of immediate arrest.
There's a part of this email that's really fucking important. It says provide your information, that's fuck. It also says you could still face criminal and academic charges. This is a tactic they're going to use to try to get us to disperse. That being said, they will continue to try to use tactics like this to get us to go away, and you still probably will get fucked legally and academically if you break down the line right now. Don't concede. You're always free to leave once again, but don't concede. Don't let their tactics win. Again, linking this to Palestine. This is what they said to Palestinians in the Nakba in 1948. Disperse now, go to these areas, and you will be safe. And that hasn't fucking been true. And it will never fucking be true. Because this is colonization. And white supremacy does not stop when you lay on your fucking back. Also, to those here, spread this message around to what's been said here to everyone around you. Spread it like wildfire. Again, this is meant to scare people. We are all scared right now. This is terrifying. That's okay. It's okay to be scared. It's fucking human. You wouldn't be human if you weren't scared. But don't let fear rule you. Fear is a large base of all of this. Humans acting in inhuman ways because they're scared. Fear leads to irrational decisions. Power yourself with love, not fear. We're stronger together. On the inside, people held it down. They held each other, even though it was fucking terrifying. They bonked bitches with water bottles. They de-arrested. And they stuck together, and there was a dub that night. And people on the outside, just as, if not more important, stuck it down, stuck together. Togetherness is the most important. There are definitely times when things like white bodies to the front are important. I am not here to say that there is not a very real thing that police brutalize brown people at much higher and much worse rates than white bodies. However, in a riot line, that does not matter. What you must do is stick together. Inside, there were brown indigenous people at the front, and they stuck it down and they held that line. Any type of division right now is not helpful. We are here to be peaceful. We are not here to cause violence. However, if you see someone engaging in that, try your best to not police them. That creates the division that allows the pigs to fuck us over. You don't have to agree with someone's tactics. That's okay, you have that right. But it's not helpful in situations like this to become an authority. To say, you know what is and isn't right in an extremely scary moment. That's all.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Everyone to the quad! We have been given, and I say this with the most contempt in my voice possible, a deal. So we have until 4 to talk about it. Depending on how the conversation goes, we can ask for more time extension. They said at 4 o'clock, it's not like we're going to get raided, so we still have some time. But we are safe for now. It is in writing. I have the faculty here who have been advocating for us and fighting for us. They are here. I hereby place you on interim suspension from Cal Poly Humboldt. This action is in response to the charges outlined to you in the attached letter.
They're working on their end. I asked them to continue to work on at least a guarantee of no academic sanctions and putting in writing that they would do everything that they could in their power to restrict the CSU's push for for ongoing legal sanctions. But that is, the criminal sanctions are not something that this university controls. They said they're working on that. They said, but I said, well, what would you suggest as being a good faith show? Like that you're negotiating the process. And they had 2 very simple requests. The first is no new graffiti. Okay? Chalk, whatever y'all want to do with the chalk, that's easy. But the graffiti, they're asking there's no new graffiti that goes up. 2, right now, Nelson's Hall is also being occupied because that's where sanitation is being taken care of and those things like that. But if you all would be willing to vacate Nelson Hall, or possibly, since you already have a come and go in Siemens, and that is clearly occupied, maybe moving to making that the headquarters, that is now just the open air occupied space. It's something to give the higher ups. It would provide an ongoing dialogue which keeps eyes on you, what you all are doing here, and your other demands.
We are working, trying to get every other campus in California to stand ground with us. I had a meeting that lasted like almost 2 hours today, and they're pretty fucking excited. They're just a little bit nervous. They're looking to us to lead. If something happens to us and we crumble, we lose all of that pressure, right? Chico, police here says Chico State Police. That means it's their UPD. It's not street police, it's campus police. So Chico's starting to organize and try to get their police back. There are news in currently 60-ish encampments internationally.
As far as divestments are concerned, I did speak to the D, Jeff Craig, earlier this morning regarding that. He told me that he's willing to work on this with you. My suggestion is that for those of you who want to work closely with Jeff Craig about divestments, I would reach out to him, and I think it would be really advantageous if a lot of you joined in this for transparency, to hold him accountable.
For a little bit more context, we've been demanding of Cal Poly Humboldt, like one tiny little campus isolated from everything else. We're like a smaller CSU. What Cal Poly can do to divest, if we stay here longer, we can put pressure on all of CSU to divest, and we can be like a nuisance in fucking Genocide Joe's side for longer. So. Probably gonna cry saying this, but did everyone see that Rafa sees us? Hi, I am an alumni. I studied here for like 4 or 5 years. This is literally what I got my degree in. There are claims that this is taking away from the students' education, and I would like to say that that is not true. This is land-based learning. This is place-based learning. Rafa sees us. The children of Palestine see us. This is what we're here for. They market sustainability. If they're so sustainable, then they would be against ecocide and genocide.
Cal Poly Humboldt is unoccupied Wiyot land. Where community is asked by the Wiyot tribe to give land back that is in their holdings in the value of billions of dollars. What are we doing for the return of access to the Wiyot tribe and the local regional indigenous communities to these lands, their care and co-management? That should be part of this conversation and needs to be part of these demands.
They want to see us divided. They want to see us feel someone else has to speak for us. Speak for your fucking self.
Don't let them take that away from us. This is what makes this movement beautiful. Different races, different classes, nationalities, students, alumni, community, faculty.
We keep us safe! Who keeps us safe? We keep us safe!
Our demands are not going to be met. It's not going to happen. And we want to try and utilize this momentum in the best way possible. With that being said, perfect moment here. These two ladies right here are setting up the table right over here. We're going to try and collect some contact information so we can bring this outside of campus. So we can take this momentum and bring it to a space that we won't be threatened, that we won't be kicked out of, and that we can organize towards these issues. If you're interested in that, please come over here, give us your contact information, and yeah, we want to try and take all of this energy and direct it in a way that is not just going to get a bunch of people hurt. The best thing we can do in this situation is what's going to enact the most change. And we're not stopping. That's the point. We're just moving out of Siemens Hall, trying to de-escalate.
From what I've heard, I think maybe the goal of opening up Siemens Hall was that everyone here could collectively decide what to do with it and what to do moving forward. I think that's exactly what we should be doing. But I am also just one person, and I do not speak for everyone here. I don't speak for anyone here.
We're just trying to take all of this energy here while it's here and collect it and try and utilize it once this whole thing is done, so that it doesn't just end with a bunch of people getting arrested and that's it. We've already had so much success from this. Media coverage, the vote on Tom Jackson, and the conversations and community that we've had here, it's all success.
In the 70s, the occupation prime minister said after decades of killing Palestinians, stealing their lands, and establishing state of Israel over the lands, that the adults will die. and children will definitely forget. Wait, is that the greatest remontada in history? Because it's children and youth who are leading the movement now for a free Palestine, putting everything they have on the line to demand justice, an end of the genocide, and a new era of the world, not based on oppression, exploitation, or colonialism. You know what the best part is? Demonstrations and calls for boycotting the current institutions are not limited to a certain people from a certain religion, culture, color, race, or maybe economic level. We're all different, so we can no longer be accused of anti-Semitism, serving some agendas from outside. 100 days of spent escaping death every single minute were not in vain. And those 40,000 innocent souls were killed during these days were not also in vain. And this is the first time to feel this and to tell you this. Keep going, because you're our only hope. And we promise we will hold our ground, because you are demolishing decades of brainwashing. You are making the change, the real change. Their violence means that we've begun to affect them deeply.
There's a few things that could happen. I think the school could back down and actually meet with us. I doubt it.
Yep.
From where we're at right now, it doesn't seem like they're willing. Thus, the barricade back up. But the other alternative is to embarrass themselves by sending force in here. It's going to take an extreme amount of force to get that undone. All we can really do is see how they choose to react. If they're smart, they'll pull the small amount of investments that they have and cut the little ties that they do have publicly. Really not that crazy of a demand if it's not that much money, right? So if they admit that it's not a substantial investment, then they should divest from that investment. Yeah, as far as what they'll do, it doesn't matter. Like, we're here. I feel like the tactic of taking a building has been set. Like, it's been a precedent. Other universities have been fucked with every day they've started their occupations, and we haven't. They haven't been here since we started ours, so there is something to be said for that. Yes, we are a remote place, but any place with a number of people who care can start a movement of their own, and the people around them will gather. Many people weren't even in the initial occupation of the building, but after it had been taken and they had heard that the cops had fucking beaten people and this is where they live and those are their friends, it struck a chord with them in a way that if they weren't moved by what they saw in Gaza, they were moved by seeing it in person.
I think with us also being in a remote area, we are prepared and we are aware,
right?
And we are able to plan accordingly and set things up in a way we are ready for what's to come.
In the community, like even if we get trapped or whatever, the community is gonna respond, and we're gonna regroup. Especially here, always regroup.
They're going to have more force and strength behind them than you do.
Not the fighting.
No. I'm just sharing. I'm sharing a half century of knowledge as best as I can in a minute, and that's all I'm trying to do.
I want to offer everyone the N95 masks that are full face fitting. They've been shown to be effective against tear gas, so if anyone would like one of these.
There's a hard closure on campus. I've been to the place but it's something I'm but I'm calling to get many people who are actually trying to stand on the front lines, talking anybody into or out of anything, to try and let you know what it's going to take to keep yourself as safe as possible.
Do with that information what you feel is best. I don't want them to come on my presentation more than they are worth. Know your right. Stand in solidarity with each other and learn what you do. And some of our subject are working really, really hard to try and get a link to upper admin, but at this point, nothing is guaranteed. So, basically right now, we're just waiting here. I love every single one of you with every atom of my body. And I wish nothing but the best for every single one of you. I love you all so much. And I mean that so genuinely. No matter what happens, I regret no decision I made here. Please know we are most vulnerable 4 to 7 a.m. Send the word out. We don't need food. We don't need water. We need our community to support us.
The strategy of sitting down and locking arms is valid. Whatever groups need to work that out amongst themselves. In terms of that media thing, the cops before, they were using shock and awe, right? They're coming in hard, they're coming in fast, they're coming in loud and bright, and it didn't work. They didn't scare us away. We are still here. And so they are now trying a softer tactic. They are trying to scare us now. It is more mental. It is more long term. If the confrontation does come up and they are looking for less of the shock and awe, sitting down and locking arms gives them the ability to move from shock and awe to we're just doing our job, cleaning up the mess. And so sitting down and locking arms is good, but to many people it just looks like a mess, all these whining children, it hurts, you're pulling my arm. People don't like, and decisions and groups and who cares and stuff like that, but that's just my perspective on it, that it is a valid strategy in certain circumstances, as are other strategies and other circumstances. We just have to decide what circumstance we're in and what strategy we want to go with.
You can name and draw on a bird, you put the name on there of the kids who have been killed in genocide, and it's papers about pictures, and it doesn't cover near the end of it. That have been killed in the genocide, you put the name on, you decorate it. And they're all going to be put in an exhibition soon. There's way more birds already made. These are just the ones from today. And some local people, indigenous people have wrote stuff on them as well. That's what I made. This is from indigenous words from my people. PLD, which means I gave you my heart, and all the watermelons.
Cops don't scare us!
Yeah. The violence represent scares me. The individuals are pathetic individuals that they don't scare me.
I just wanted to express as someone who's indigenous, who's a trans faggot. Thank you. I'm actually very uncomfortable with this rhetoric around white people to the front. I think there's a part of the story that's missing, where when you say white people to the front, you completely diminish other marginalizations that are out there. And my understanding from people on the inside was that it was almost majority trans people inside. And that in the beginning, before the cops came, it was the trans indigenous people that said, hey, we should go to the front. It's all caught on video. Let's go to the front and pray before those riot people come in and potentially bash us in. And so the trans indigenous people came to the front and they started praying. They brought up their abalone, they brought out their burning herbs, and they started praying for everybody. I don't know if you've seen that, but that happened. And they volunteered themselves to go to the front to protect everybody behind them. They weren't stopped by this idea of identitarian politics or identity politics. But they chose to put their bodies on the line. And I feel like that story is missing here. And that they were the first to get hit. But that is because they volunteered themselves. And I think it's really dangerous to just say white people to the front because we're all in danger. And on top of that, we have kept us all safe. We have kept us all safe, regardless of color, regardless of gender, regardless of class. When the trans indigenous people started getting hit, I saw white people protecting them. And so I just want to say that I think it's dangerous to have this rhetoric to just look out for the BIPOC people because you're just looking at color. If I see my white comrade next to me getting beat by the cops or about to get arrested, I'm going to do something about that. I'm going to do something about that. And I hope you all do too. Thank you.
That's not what nonviolence is. You're supposed to accept the violence and the humiliation, and you're supposed to take it. When you take it, that's what makes things change. You have to take the abuse. You don't give it out. What do they do in that situation? They use a lot of rhetoric and they change things around and they manipulate words. That's what the Israelis are doing, right? You're taking something that you can make it into a beautiful thing, and you're thinking about fighting back against the police because they're bad. They are bad, but they're just people, man. They're just doing their job. If you know, it is true. These are people.
Hey, y'all, real quick. Let's bring it back in real quick, please. I don't want to stop anybody's expressions right now, but I do want to kind of focus us back in for a moment, if I can. Our first demand is that no more police presence on campus and amnesty, academic amnesty for all students involved, meaning no repercussions whatsoever. The second D, divest, removing all investments from Israel and reinvesting that money into our local community. And then the third D being declare, we are calling to ask Cal Poly Humboldt to call for an immediate and permanent ceasefire. We want Cal Poly Humboldt to push the CSU system to declare the same.
You've already done more than you could have really thought in many ways you were going to do in terms of capturing national attention. The question now is, what do you do with the long term? And I was 20, I look young, I'm almost 50, I have this kid who's going to be a student here in a few months. I know what it feels like to want to make that stand. And so if that's y'all's decision, please just be safe. If it is just that, and they come in and this is just over, I don't know what is left of what you all have been trying to do. The 3 Ds would seemingly be gone. Now, if you all want to push for them to continue working on financial transparency, disinvestment, and affirming, for example, the ceasefire that our faculty senate passed yesterday, and making that part of the Cal Poly statement for calling for a ceasefire in Gaza, then that is going to require. Then that is a different tact. Giving this up and saying we're going to do this for a long-term gain, to have a seat at another table. We don't know where that negotiation is going to go. It sounded like there was consensus that if they would meet those demands, you all were willing to entertain that and leave. Now, that channel is trying to be worked through. That's up for you all. But what I am saying is, it would be good if all of this just doesn't end with a bunch of people zip tied. And you all need to figure out what that looks like.
Important to remember the strength that we already showed, and to continue to replicate that. Together, we can push them off and we can push them away. The cops bring violence to this campus. We do not incite it.
I know this is anxious, stressful, exhausting. We have been here for a long time. Not enough sleep, not enough food. But this is the moment to chant. This is the moment to be excited. This is the climax. Do some music, do some dance, hug your friends. This movement is not a sentimental one. I witnessed deep analysis, higher level, and critical thinking because of how smart and thoughtful you all are. The decision is eventually yours. Like I said, I'm not trying to push for any agenda. I'll be with you all the front line, and I love you all, and I know you all know that this is a genuine statement. I think Siemens Hall was not the leverage to negotiate. I think the leverage was the community. I urge you all to define what progress looks like. Siemens Hall mission is accomplished, and we should move on. Move on doesn't mean that we are compromising. Moving on doesn't mean that we are leaving. We are not doing anything out of fear. You all have seen me here. The past few days, I was talking to you and was talking to admin. That fear is not going to work. We are all grown-ups to make decisions, to take this risk, to be here for this very beautiful cause. I told some of you all earlier today that you should document your experiences. Analytical, affective, critical, tactical, and so many other aspects of this beautiful moment. You should write about these. You should tell the stories to your children and to your grandchildren. These are stories to be documented. These are the moments of life that becomes memory, that becomes stories. Keep journaling. The decision is still yours. You all started this. I've been just a drop in this ocean, and I'll be with you all wherever you all go. Woo!
Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. You understand? Don't touch me. Don't touch me. No, move back. Move back. You fucker. Take them off from your face, so we see you first. You pussy.
Say it to my face.
You pussy.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
You're not pussy. He's pussy. He's pussy. You're not. He's pussy.
All pussy.
Yeah, you pussy. You pussy. You pussy. Pussy. Yeah, you pussy. You pussy, motherfucker.
Okay. Just walk.
Woo! Come on, let's go! Yes!
We're Gooseneck from right fucking here, Arcadia, California.
Yes!
Fuck you! Fuck you, bitch! Fuck you, you fucking Palestinian motherfucker! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck pussy!
He's harassing and assaulting. He's the only one here is acting that way. So, are you going to do anything about it? He's the only one who's posing a threat here.
Good job. Thank you for appreciate that. God bless America. God bless America. Fuck those motherfuckers. A bunch of pussies that don't know what they're doing. God bless you. Bless you. Bless you too. God
What's your
bless
name?
you. Let's just
What's your name?
Yeah, I'm going. That's it. I'm done.
Thank you, sir.
I drove 13 hours to see this shit. I cannot believe that. I cannot believe that. Cal Poly.
Have a great night, okay, sir?
Thank you.
Appreciate. Where'd you park at?
Over there.
No,
let's go for what? This is a bunch of pussies. What let's go? This one pussies. They don't know nothing about life.
So you're heading over.
I'm a Marine. They're a bunch of pussies that don't know nothing. A bunch of pussies here. Let's go.
Yeah.
Have a good night, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Appreciate you all.
Thank you.
God bless. Take care.
All right.
Take care. God bless.
We're just going to try to keep it.
I'm in this.
No, you're going to keep me here. You didn't protect me. I don't need protection from you, girl. God bless.
Oh my God,
Hey, don't.
He's pushing me.
He's stopping the walk. This guy. Look at that. Look. He stopped me. He stopped this guy.
I didn't move.
This guy.
For stopping him is not
This guy. No. This guy touched me. This guy
trying to go in and that might not get good call.
I don't need your help. This guy stopped me. This guy.
If he's leaving, I don't know why you're trying to stop him from leaving.
He's leaving. Yeah, that was going to.
Fuck the police, fuck genocide, and free Palestine.
We need to make sure that we're really focusing on what the message is of the movement, which is nonviolence. I understand fuck the police, but we need to show more love, and really nothing is ever going to change on a real big level until we show more love and less hate.
All right, that might have been ours. We're not coming in, bro. These belong to Sunt Construction. They're not university property, and they've asked that they be returned.
Okay.
The rest of this university property, it hasn't left university property, it's still here, but these belong to Sun Construction.
What'll happen is there'll be a theft report taken, but this is not university.
Yeah,
you
just
guys,
this. The rest of
somebody just stole somebody else's property.
So real quickly, is it all the chain links officers or just the...
Yeah, all the ones that you...
Whichever ones were taken from Jenkins Hall.
We can communicate that to people. Thank you for educating us.
Okay.
Have a good night.
You too.
Well, if we have no idea who took them, how do we know who's going to return them?
Anything you have to say about Jackson? Jackson? Oh, Tom Jackson? Well, I didn't know what I expected. It took a lot. It took this. It took storming this building, occupying our campus. This is the most we've heard from him. This is the closest we've gotten from him, by literally breaking into his office and holding it as our own. We took back the building that we own as students, and that's what it took to get a response from him. You know, he's done a great job of fumbling the bag. Certainly, he's not going to have a job after this. You get what you give, you get what you pay for. If you're only in it for the money, then it's going to come back to bite you in the ass. You're not in it for the community. And then go ahead and start saying whatever you feel. Well, you know, we've been out here for just about a week. Learned a lot. I've learned a lot. I'd like to speak about why we're here and perhaps why this is such a divisive issue. Because when we say free Palestine, from the river to the sea, it evokes a strong reaction in people because Israel is a settler colony. There are indigenous Jewish people to the land of Palestine. But there are other people who do not really have that connection to the land who are claiming it as their own. And that really, kind of evokes that white supremacy, entitlement to something. And that is what connects to the American question. What does it mean to be American? I mean, we, for the most part, I'll speak for myself, I am a settler, descendant of settlers on this land. This land is not my own. And that's a really important perspective I think we need to take to this. But the reason why people feel threatened when we say from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, land back, is because they think that to restore that sovereignty, to honor that legacy, is to genocide all these colonizers, because that's what the colonizers did to the indigenous. But that's false, because we see that death begets death. You don't create peace by killing people. You don't save one people by killing another. Land back, restoring indigenous sovereignty does not mean genocide. That is the white supremacist mindset of approaching this. It means reconciling with our history and learning how we can make something new and something better, something more beautiful. This is a human story, but it's also the story of Earth, of Gaia, this mother organism. I dream of one day tearing up the asphalt and the concrete and restoring the land to the native plants and the native creatures and organisms that dwell. Peace. Love.
The message that was sent earlier is the one can get away with a hell of a lot around here. It's made abundantly clear. So pretty much the message sent to every hobo, crook, drug addict, lunatic, would-be jihadist, Marxist is, let's see what more can get away with. Let's see what more can get away with. Let's see how far we can push this. That's the message it sends.
And what about the heels, buddy?
What do you mean the heels? They're sensible heels.
Sensible.
Come on. We're not looking to participate in any physical.
They're tactical.
Yeah.
Cool. And so you feel proud. I'm glad you take to represent a terrible opinion, and I'm glad we got to hear it.
I'm glad you're here.
I'm ready for you.
You're going to throw a rock at me? That's the right.
This is Trump's side.
Hey, you know we got you on camera doing that, right?
Man, my legal professor will give me extra credit if I pursue court cases, buddy.
Cops told me to be smart. They're on my side.
You're not being smart,
did you
though.
submit that you work for the cops?
Yeah, but you guys said the police to go. You said police go.
No, so we're allowed to do that.
Oh, you are?
As our community, we are representing.
Your community.
Yes.
But where you're from Ireland, aren't you?
What?
Yeah, you are. You're from from UK or Ireland. You're not even from the U.S. You're a foreign agitator.
Yeah, we're gonna go sit down.
Go sit down.
Thank you.
Sit down. Like she said, go sit down. Go sit down. No, I like to stand. No, I prefer to stand.
I know. Okay.
You don't back down.
Hey, seriously, what is he doing now? Like, hey, you need to really consider leaving.
Why are you getting in people's faces?
He wants it. Nice agitation, you dickhead. Nice try. Try better than that.
Really?
Prefer to ride camels and fuck goats, or do you prefer to ride goats and fuck camels?
All right, nice racist shit.
Free
chemical agents, which include rubber bullets, plastic bullets, and CF. Use of these devices can result in serious injury. Penal Code Section 409 prohibits remaining present at an unlawful assembly, which means that you must leave the area. If you remain in the area just described, you will be in violation of Penal Code Section 409.
So, in short, they're trying to wait us out and exhaust us, like they have been trying to, and not that kind of successful, not really. So just vibe. As you can see, even with my gas mask on, I'm still smoking. So just find a way to go ahead, get some snacks, be aware of your surroundings, and we will be aware and let you know when we see things, okay? Thank you. For humanity. You are on the right side of history. Stay together, stay safe. Don't protect yourselves, okay? Protect each other.
If you do not do so, you may be arrested. You may also be subject to other police action, including the use of kinetic energy projectiles and chemical agents, which include rubber bullets, plastic bullets, and CF. State of California, order all those assembled at the University Quad area. If you remain in the area as described, you will be in violation of Penal Code Section 409.
Don't touch him! Don't touch him! Don't touch him! Give him space! Relax!
It's all good.
They will use any sort of violence against us!
Yeah, bro, you gotta look up USS Liberty. I'll look it up. Look it up. I will. I'll look it up.
And then you'll be like, oh,
I'm not saying that our United States government has treated people the best. I know that. Okay? You know what would happen under a fucking Muslim government? What would happen?
Okay, we don't need to be given an opportunity to spread Islamophobia right here.
What would happen? How Muslim are you?
I'm pretty fucking Muslim.
Like Muslim enough that you're gonna act like this, but as soon as Muslim takes over, you're gonna fucking force people to fucking
eventually
follow the
reach a head where
Quran.
no one's gonna get nowhere.
Well, that's how most of the fucking Muslims that are fucking. No, that's how the people that you guys are chanting for. That is the fucking kind of Muslims they are.
That's not how it works.
That's not how it works.
Come here, yell death to Palestine, and then expect to stay around. In this area.
Hey, listen,
okay?
that's not how
you
it
need
works.
to leave.
You obviously don't know enough about Islam and Muslims, because for me to try to force some shit on you is
a wrong to myself.
Can we have a conversation outside of the zone where there's people who don't feel safe?
I'm not letting him further into the zone. I'm not letting him
it's
closer
hilarious
into
that they
the
say
zone.
people don't feel safe when there's a whole fucking long view, which just literally describes your guys' fucking mentality. Go to Gaza, go fight.
Go back to Texas.
Go to Gaza,
We
go
actually
fight.
can't go to Gaza, otherwise I'd be there right fucking now.
Well, good for you.
Yeah, I mean, we can't go there. You want to go sit down? How much did you drink?
I had about 2 beers. Communism is the worst thing that could fucking happen to humanity.
I mean,
what kind of families and backgrounds do you guys come from? How much money do your parents have? How much have you guys actually ever had to struggle? I was kicked out of the house at 16 years old. Okay? I was raised by a religious cult. I hate organized religion. The Mennonites. The Mennonites are like Amish people, but they drive cars. Okay?
Okay.
Laugh all you want.
All right, well, pay attention to me.
Yeah.
You know,
No, I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
Like in my personal experience, and had to fight to survive, that is out here screaming communism and fucking death to America.
Well, yeah, okay. So
I don't know anyone, and the only people I know who really come from that are probably people
who yelled death to America?
There was definitely death to America chants going on here.
No one said that
in the past week.
Literally, no one said that.
I know you're 5 years deep right now, huh?
I'm what?
He said he's
You're
2.
what? Yeah, basically.
I'm
yeah.
5 years what?
Yeah.
Beers.
See, yeah.
Beers. Oh.
Yeah, you can,
Oh,
yeah.
but I can
All right.
still talk
That's
intelligently with my
literally
face
what-
off.
You have 2 or
mask off.
5?
I had 2.
Okay.
I had 2.
What kind
Sure,
of beers
buddy.
did you have?
Coors Light.
Sure, buddy.
Coors Light?
Yeah.
Are you acting
Sure.
like this?
Couple shots.
Listen,
Couple
I
shots
used
of
to
Jack,
get in
huh?
30-person brawls for fun. I was younger. I don't do it anymore.
Well, that's good you don't do that
I used to
anymore.
like to fight way
What?
too
It wasn't
much.
fun, was it?
I don't even, actually, it wasn't too much fun, but psychedelics saved my life. I had a life-changing trip on acid, on
real?
LSD. Yeah.
What happened?
Maybe fuck your head up.
Okay.
You're screaming, kill Gaza? Yeah, alright.
If it's people like you, then yeah, kill Gaza. If it's people like him, no.
You know, the majority of people in Gaza are like me, actually. But the thing is, for you to say death to Palestine is just like, that's hate. That's hate.
If you actually
Did you know-
read the
did you
biblical
know-
bloodlines.
Okay, so my buddy's from Gaza, right?
Yeah.
His grandmother was Jewish.
A lot of them
But
are very
she
closely
converted
related.
to Islam. She became Muslim.
Okay.
That's the thing you have to recognize, is that there were a lot of Jewish people there that became Muslim afterwards. So these same
Were they
people
forced to become Muslim though? Because
dude,
look at what
we can't.
Islam
That's
has
not
done.
allowed. That's not allowed.
But
where did you hear
look
this?
at-
Do you watch the news or what?
No, I don't watch the news.
So where do you get where are you being updated on whatever happens?
I read. I do my own research.
But what are you researching? Are you researching like scholarly articles?
No, I'm more trying to research like bloodlines and where these people actually come from. I actually have high respect for you guys for being calm and talking with me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind talking to you, but the thing is other people are not the same. When you say shit like death to Palestine, you know how many people have died there already?
Here's the thing: is you guys claim to be peaceful protesters. All these people are like, we're a peaceful protest. We're standing in solidarity. How everyone acted? They just tried to jump me. Completely proved that wrong,
So-
and proved
but
how
you
much
didn't-
of
you didn't get
cowards
jumped,
these
though,
people
bro. You
are.
didn't get jumped.
They
But the thing is-
started to.
Did somebody hit you?
Oh, they tried to.
Really?
I pushed them off. They rushed me.
What do you think today, as of today, is the biggest threat to America?
I think the biggest threat to America is our undividedness. The Bill of Rights and the Declaration of Independence was basically like a big fuck you to the biggest powerful entity in the world. And like, we're tired of you guys fucking coming down on us and fucking not allowing us personal freedoms, religious freedoms.
Exactly.
And we're going to fucking say fuck you and stand up. I committed crimes while I was under the influence and did things when I was younger. And I paid, and I deserved every price that I paid for those crimes. Honestly, I'm going to say this right now, because I know a lot of fucking good old boys, and if it wasn't for the police, a lot of people would have died here already. There would have been people that would have came here and said, okay, you guys are disrupting our town and our peace. We have heavy equipment and guns. You guys are done. It's true, though.
Well, who would have done that?
Quite a few people.
Yeah, I do.
You realize
I do
that you're in
realize
one of the
we're
most
Humboldt.
rural places in Northern California.
I'm well aware of that, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
the only reason you guys haven't had a real fight on your hands is because the police are outside here, which your little garbage can shield wouldn't have done anything for, my dude.
You know why I'm carrying this now?
Why?
It's rubber bullets.
I'm Aaron Thompson.
Aaron Thompson.
I'll give my name out. I have no problem giving my name out. You guys can put it out there.
But think about this. Think about the founding fathers, right?
Yeah.
They didn't just fucking sit here like this. They fucking grabbed their muskets or whatever the fuck it
I don't
was.
think that's a fight you guys would win, though.
I mean,
I have friends who can hit a target from 1,000 yards away and dump 1,000 rounds a week. They'll sit up on that hill and pick people off, and you guys would be like, what the fuck's going on? Even if you had your fucking muskets in your rifles.
All right, I'm not talking about them.
I'm just saying, like this is the truth.
I'm talking
if it wasn't for the police here.
Yeah, but I just don't like the threats,
But I'm not threatening. I'm just speaking facts of what would be.
Okay, so
happening and
I'm
could happen
talking,
if the police
I'm
were
talking
here.
about the founding fathers fighting who? The
British
British
fucking government.
Yeah, because they were fucking.
The goddamn
they were
redcoats.
fucking everyone up, right?
I'm not threatening anyone. I'm not threatening anyone.
What was that?
I'm just speaking facts and what I think people need to realize could actually be happening. For the point, just think about that. If it wasn't for the cops, would you be able to protect yourself?
Estar sujeto a otras acciones policiales, incluido el uso de proyectiles de energía cinética y agentes químicos. Permanecer presente en una reunión ilegal, lo que significa que deben abandonar el área que acabo de describir. Dispersal 109 del Código Penal. Las siguientes rutas de dispersión están disponibles. Salgan del área de la plaza de Cal Poly Humboldt, caminen al oeste por las instalaciones hacia el bulevar.
I would hear police saying that protesters had 15 minutes to leave the area. That played on for a couple of hours, trying to get interviews, but a lot of protesters were denying to be on camera. I started hearing about an arrest. So when I went to go check out the arrest, then I was told that a raid police was coming. And so I went over to the quad, the main area where people were protesting.
From what I've read from folks who were on the ground in that area, it was a pretty terrifying scene. Hundreds of cops showed up at 3 a.m. Some of whom drove hours for free. They volunteered their time just to hit kids.
I love you all so much. I love you so much. I love you guys. So much. Anybody want some snacks? A way more beautiful world is coming. A way more beautiful world. No, my stuffy's still. Yep, I can breathe.
along together. We got a 10. Leave the area. 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 Hey, squad 1, squad 2. Let's form a line tight. Forward. Move.
Clear the area. 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 Clear the area.
And I caught the attention of the first officers that were on the scene. And I was told to move to the side, and then I was told to go with them. They took off my backpack, and they were saying that I was detained. And I was explaining to them, like, I'm news. I was showing them my press badge. I was showing them my jacket. So I was like, I'm here for the news. I'm here to do my job. And then they basically told me that I shouldn't have been on campus at that time, and that because of that, they were taking us away. And so then I got zip tied, and I was taken to a Humboldt County Sheriff's Office vehicle area. And then that's when they were getting my information. They took my belongings, and then they put me in a transportation vehicle. I was there at the Humboldt County Jail. They patted me down. Sheriff William Hansel ended up approaching me, and he pulled me aside, and he got my belongings back from the other sheriffs. Many of the protesters were very friendly. They weren't rude to me or anything. I think the most aggressive officer towards me was the one who zip-tied me. He was the one that was the most aggressive, but everyone else was really nice, and I was complying with everything. I was listening to their orders.
The officers not believe you or not? No, I mean, you were wearing a jacket that identified you as a member of the news media. They just didn't think you were a reporter, or they didn't care you were a reporter.
They didn't care that I was a reporter. They just said, as long as you're on campus, we're able to detain you. So.
Okay.
And this morning, Humboldt County deputies arrested 35 people on the Cal Poly campus. Deputies cleared and secured 2 buildings that protesters had taken over since last week. The school said it made repeated efforts to resolve the situation, and they say enforcement action was necessary.
Campus protests across the nation, Cal Poly Humboldt now saying 32 people were actually arrested in the police protest sweep yesterday. They say 13 were students, 18 non-students, and 1 was a faculty member. After the arrests, protesters assembled outside the Humboldt County Courthouse calling for their release.
When things go wrong in my heart, there is only you. I wonder if you are lonely too. Tell me you'll wait for a brighter day, when all the clouds will have passed away. For it may be the end of the journey. I shall find all I've lost in the past. In my city of dreams, all my golden schemes will be waiting to greet me at last. I may find when I come to the sunshine all the faith I have lost in my friends, and your love maybe will be waiting for me where the rain